So what are the benefits of using a Sturdy Foods pizza dough?
We've done a lot of research into how to get the best product, how to get the most out of the product, what ingredients to use, and really the benefits come down to consistency. Customers value consistency, and when they get consistency of service, they get consistency of product, then they come back time and time again.
Can you just talk us through the process of making dough in the Sturdy Foods factory?
So it all starts with the raw ingredients coming in. So we buy ingredients in by the pallet, which is then stored. So welcome to our pizza factory here in North Yorkshire. This is where we make all our products. We're going to show you a little bit about the process, how we make the dough and how we make great sourdough pizzas. Key to a fantastic pizza is a fantastic flour, and we use a very, very good zero type flour, which gives us a great result. We need a high protein flour, which is going to give us that really nice crust, great texture. First part of the process is the mixing. So the flour is going in the bowl along with the other ingredients. So we've got our mix on there, and we're going to incorporate all the ingredients in there, the flour, salt, yeast, water, and that's all going to go in there and get mixed for about 10 minutes until it's really developed the dough structure. Once the dough's made, it's removed, goes straight into the dough divider, and that's the machine where it goes in, divides it into individual dough balls, which is then rounded and turns into a nice tight smooth dough ball. So every dough ball will come out the same weight, plus or minus a couple of grams here and there. We do various weights of dough ball, anywhere between 180 grams and 340 grams. So we have three main options to be able to serve pizza on a menu. The first is a dough ball, which requires some level of skill in terms of the management of it and the preparation of it. And we then move up to a pressed pizza base called a pizza disc, which is still going to give us a really good quality product, but which is removing the need to roll dough in-house. And then we move up to a pre-baked, pre-sauced pizza. And this would be for an operator where they haven't necessarily got space, equipment or skill levels to be able to invest in equipment and staff training, and they want a really, really quick, easy way to serve what is still a very good quality product. If we're selling pizza dough balls, or we're making the product for pizza dough balls, that then goes straight in the freezer, blast frozen to retain the product quality. And if it's been made for the pizza bases, what happens is it's then chilled in the chiller for up to 48 hours, which really develops the flavour before we then process it and turn it into a pizza base. So once the product's made, we've got a dough ball which is fresh, and we want to turn that into a frozen dough ball as quickly as possible, and we do that by blast freezing. So we freeze at very, very low temperatures, and within an hour to an hour and a half, the dough ball will be completely frozen solid. And that quick freezing process really keeps the integrity of the dough, keeps the quality of it. When the dough ball is received by a customer, all they need to do is defrost the dough, and then we need to give it ideally around 24 hours in the fridge to start maturing the dough and proving it up for use in service. What I was just going to talk about is sort of the slow proving process we do with the dough here. So after it's made, for the bases, so we can slow prove it for 48 hours. So for a frozen dough ball, we're going to get that in the freezer as quick as possible. The other product we make, the pre-sauced, pre-baked sourdough pizza bases, and for that we're going to actually have a slightly different process, and the dough is going to mature for 48 hours before we then process it and turn it into a pizza base.
Cool. Lead the way.
So the key to getting maximum quality out of any dough is time. The longer we ferment the dough for, the longer we prove it for, the longer we leave it to rest and mature, the better product we're going to have. So ideally you want to be proving your dough for at least 24 hours. If you can do more, even better. It's a bit like a stew. If you make a stew, you come back to it the following day, it's improved in flavour. So it's the same process. All the proteins in the flour, all the ingredients are all gelling together and creating something which is going to be far better at the end. So we put a lot of effort into getting a great dough, and now we're going to turn it into a great pizza base. So we're going to do that by pressing it. We then add the sauce, and it's going to go through a travelling oven for around about 2.5 minutes. It goes in at quite a high heat, and that gives us a really, really good looking, good tasting product that just needs reheating. Once it's come out the end of it, take four. Once it's come out the other end of the oven, we're going to blast freeze it very quickly for around about 10 minutes. We're then going to pack it, and we're going to freeze it back down, ready for sending out. Okay, so we have a pizza disc here. This is a product which works really, really well when we've got a pizza oven on site. and we want to showcase making fresh pizzas, but we might want to reduce the labour a little bit. So it's already pre-pressed out. All we need to do is add sauce and add toppings and bake it in the oven. The process is one of continual improvement. So we built the new factory, which is dedicated just for pizza production. We moved in January 2019, invested in a load more equipment. So it's really trying to get the balance for us between manufacturing a product and getting as close as possible to an artisan recipe and an artisan product for our customers. So there's always going to be a difference between an artisan-made pizza dough and a manufactured dough. What we try and do is we try and get as close to that level as we possibly can. So we try and get as much hydration in the dough to give us that kind of artisan product and get as close as we can to that style.
What made you choose to create pizza dough?
For the food service market, which is the market we sell into, pizza is a great option. It's always a bestseller. So I think something like 83% of people will have eaten pizza in the last month in the UK. It's the most popular food when eating out in restaurants. I think it's the second most bought food in supermarkets and the fourth most for takeaways. So it's perennially popular, and it's also very high margin. You know, you're selling something that people will pay good money for. Very customizable as well, so you can make vegan pizzas, vegetarian pizzas, meat-based pizzas. So there's an awful lot you can do with the base product.
What are the possibilities for a business if they were to set up a pizza offering?
There's an incredible opportunity for businesses to set up and add pizza onto the menu for very little cost, very little investment in a lot of cases. And the benefits are going to be that you can instantly add a high-performing revenue stream onto your business. Takeaway and delivery is a market that's growing and growing and growing. So it's going to enable you to potentially add that side of things onto your business and extend your revenue. It's a very quick, efficient, high-margin product to serve. And ultimately it's a product which can increase sales and profits.
Perfect.